Hey everyone. When you first take a phone out of a box, it's new, it's responsive, it's quick and it's flashy. Of course you love the phone, it's just been taken out of the box. And this will continue for the first few weeks or even a couple of months. When you've had a phone for 6 months, that's when the truth starts to show. That's when the real feelings for the phone and the real power of the phone starts to come into effect. So, this is the Note 10 Plus, 10 months later. When the Note 10 first launched, there was a couple of things I found a bit disappointing about it. And I wasn't even sure if I should upgrade. I spent a bit of time, not too long, but a bit of time, late at night, all alone, tossing and turning, thinking, is it worth the trade-offs? There are a few things on the Note 9 that Samsung quietly killed away. The headphone jack, the heart rate sensor, the physical pressing down on the home button, or the imaginary home button, but you could press down to return home. These little things have gone. But I can honestly say after 6 months I don't miss them things. The heart rate sensor, obviously that's gone because they want you to get into the wearables and get a smartwatch. So that's that problem ticked. And obviously they want you to buy the Galaxy Buds, which is why they haven't got a headphone jack. But you do still get some AKG headphones, which are pretty decent, included in the box as well. As pressing the screen in the middle, that just there to go home. Doesn't do anything now, obviously, but did feel quite nice to have. I missed it for a little bit, but now not so much. You get used to it just like you do anything else. The fingerprint sensor on the back was another thing which I really found convenient and did like. You just take your hand out of your pocket and it's always just in that right place. And I did use it a lot for scrolling for the notifications as well. But again, you get used to it and there are workarounds. You can just do that on the screen anywhere to do the same kind of effect. For those things that I'm missing, I am so glad I've got the Note 10 Plus. When I first got it, first I got the box, it felt like holding something really futuristic and something that I'd spent a lot of time and design going into. I mean, between my two phones, this and the iPhone 11 Pro, this just feels so much more, I don't want to say premium because I do like that matte glass, but this just feels like it's actually from 2020 or 2019 at the time. Whereas the iPhone starting to feel a bit dated, but this, with its hole punch display and the incredibly thin sides, the form factor, it just feels very nice in the hand. Even now, most of the time I did have it in a case, but whenever I took it out the case, straight away, I just fell in love with it all over again. Anyone who holds it is instantly impressed by it. Anyone looks at the screen, I mean, bezel-wise, come on, look at that. It's a beautiful design. The back, a little bit disappointing though. Did scratch up quite easily. I don't even know how. Within the first month, it had quite a few marks on it. I'm guessing it was from either a case, like something I got in the case, or maybe putting it in and out of my pocket. But hey, D-brand skin, cover that up, and I don't get sad about it, apart from when I think back to what it looks like with the scratches on. Only 10 months to go for a new one. So, no, 10, 8, 7, ooh. Having all the buttons on one side seemed like it was a bit of a controversial decision at first. I mean, people like left-handed was going, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? I use my phone with both hands like throughout the day. Just depends on how I pull it out of my pocket. I just use it in that hand. And I can honestly say I don't mind having it all on the left-hand side. It's easy for the thumb to reach, or it's easy for the finger to reach if I'm using it with my other hand. So it's perfectly fine. The one benefit of it is I use my phone in tripods and little phone holders, or I have it on a desk with a phone case with a kickstand on. Having the buttons all on one side makes it accessible when I'm watching videos. Little secret about me. Come closer. Going a little bit closer. Closer. More ghost stories. I get really bad battery anxiety. Shh. So I don't like to leave my house unless my phone's fully charged, and I'll always charge my phone overnight, and I'll charge it. I'll use it in the morning, and I'll charge it again before I leave to make sure I'm on 100% before I go, and it's plugged in the car on the way to work, and I'll make sure I start the day at 100%, or I'm always at 100% at every opportunity. However, that has seemed to change with the Note 10 Plus. Because of the large battery, like 4,300 milliamp hours, which now seems small, now the S20 and the Asus have all gone higher again, it does last a lot longer. And with the smart battery management as well, I'm finding I manage my battery completely different than I used to. So, for example, at night now I won't charge it. I'd actually have a Bixby routine where if it's at night, I'm asleep and the phone's not on charge, it'll go into power saving until the morning. really handy. I'm only dropping a few small percentage, which is nothing compared to the iPhone, but is a lot better than any other Android phone I've used so far. I know I can go the whole day, and I can probably top up Emma's phone or top up my watch with a wireless charge, with the reverse wireless charging. I'm not as worried as I would have been in the past. The battery just lasts so much longer, and I don't have to worry about what I'm using it for, what I'm not using it for. The battery icon, I don't have my percentage shown because of FOMO. If I can see 99%, I'll freak out. I'm like, no, it needs to be charged again, get to 100. But now, I worry because it looks like it's low, and I pull it down to like 60%. I was like, oh, it looked like it was 30, but it's not. So, the battery icon doesn't help much, but the actual battery usage of the phone is great. I'm a big power user. I'm constantly on my phone. Sorry, Emma. She's going to know she's right now. All the time I say I'm not always on my phone, but I've just admitted it on camera. I am always on my phone. I'm a big power user, and I have the screen brightness and resolution turned up full. I have the brightness up high. I'm constantly using something on my phone. And I know I could get a day and a half battery out of this. No problem. Easy. If you're not a power user, you're easily going to get 2 days battery out of it. Easy. I'm confident in that. But ultimately, this is a power user's phone, and I don't believe the whole I want 2 days battery life. I want a phone I can use for 1 day comfortably without thinking I need to charge up, I need to top up the battery, whatever. That's all I want. Who's away from the charger for like 2 days? If you're going camping, fair enough, but come on, take a solar power charger or a power bank. You don't need a phone that's going to last 2 days. Fact. I just need a phone that's going to do everything I need to. I'm watching videos, recording videos, taking pictures, taking notes, recording voice memos, recording a podcast, maybe, who knows. Playing games, scrolling social media, posting social media, writing emails, receiving texts. Everything I need to do without worrying, am I going to drain a battery life? Within 24 hours. We don't need 2 hour battery life. Get real. So this is a phone that can do that. This is a productivity phone. It always has been. I know they aim it slightly towards creative productivity now, but it's still a productivity phone. This is a killer phone for anyone who is the productive type, or wants to be, or is like me and procrastinates a lot, but talks a big game. The S Pen. Oh. So the S Pen is something I didn't know I'd use. I always wanted a Note, going back to the Note 2, I think it was the first time I wanted a Note. But never really pulled the trigger because I thought, am I paying extra for something I'm not going to use? AKA the S Pen. When I finally got the Note 8, which is the first time I kind of dipped my toe in that water, I used the S Pen all the time. Like every day, all the time. Taking notes in work, jotting down notes at home, reminders, little sketches. I even do the screen capture. I've done some videos on up here, I think. Or just this side? Done some videos on the S Pen somewhere, or down here, whatever. I love it. I love the S Pen. Granted, now I use it less for work because I'm not allowed to use my phone in work, which makes me sad. But I still use it a lot. Love the S Pen, and I think it's something that you never get from another phone. The Motorola trying to do it now with the Motorola Stylus, but it's not quite S Pen. Yes, there are some things that are gimmicky with the motion gestures and doing this to zoom in, but they're there. And if they're there, great. You don't have to use it. But it is a really good feature to have for some people, or even for that odd occasion. You're not paying extra for that. You're paying extra for the S Pen. That is just something extra that the S Pen can do. That makes sense. Playing, pausing music, again, great. I can either use my watch or my S Pen. Don't tend to use the S Pen too much for that, because kids might take it, chew it, or I might just drop it, sit on it, break it. Don't like to use it out my phone for too long, but just something just walking around. I can play and pause a video, or they've got video on a tripod or whatever, and I can play and pause it without getting up and touching the screen. It is handy. The AR and things like that, they're just fun, but they're going to mature over the next few decades. When the S Pen first came out, it was literally just a writing tool, and it does so much more now, and it's going to continue to do more and continue to get refined, hopefully, as time goes on. And I'm always going to enjoy and find it hard to come away from that Note series, because the S Pen is a damn useful tool. Guaranteed, if you bought a Note today, you may not use the S Pen all the time, because there'll be things that you do and go, oh, I could have used the S Pen for that, or oh, I should use the S Pen for that, or maybe I should use the S Pen for this. I forgot the S Pen does that. And you'll find yourself doing that a few times, and then it's like muscle memory. Once you start using it, I know when I want to share pictures now, it's habit for me to take the S Pen out, screen capture, send it, put the S Pen away. I know if I'm looking on my calendar, it's easier to hold the S Pen over it so the day pops up and don't have to keep tapping into the day and tapping out of the day. It's little things. The S Pen just becomes part of your daily habits. For normal things that you normally use, makes it easier, and it's so nice to have. When I'm using my iPhone, it bugs me that I don't have that. Let's talk about the hole punch display. Again, polarizing. When it first got announced, there were people who thought it's not a big deal, people who prefer a notch and think a notch is better looking, and you're wrong. Or people who thought it should go over to the side and think it's just ugly, looking at you like a cyclops from the middle there. But honestly, day to day, I forget about the hole punch. Even when I was making notes on this, I forgot to mention the hole punch on the screen. Do I put it in the part of the screen? I don't know. But either way, it's in here because I want to say, trust me, you get used to that. It disappears. Whether you're watching video, whether you're scrolling social media, or whatever you're doing, being front and center, you just blank it out. You forget about it. And even the same goes when you're watching video. It's just not a thing. There's nothing in that part of the screen that you notice. Trust me. So don't worry about it. Don't let that put you off buying the S20 or the Note 10 Plus. And on the note of the screen, on that note, lol. Yes, it's 60 Hz. Yes, it came out in late 2019 when most people do 90 Hz. Does it bother me? No. I can honestly say I've never used a phone and thought, I wish this had a higher refresh rate. I get it. If you used a higher refresh rate, it might be more difficult to come back. But without the 90 Hz display, without the 120 Hz display, this is still one of the most beautiful screens on the market, bar none. It just looks and feels nice. It's just beautiful in every way. Some people might say it's oversaturated. Change the settings. But it is bright, it's bold, it's beautiful, it's edge to edge, minus that little tiny hole punch. Other than that, it's just a great phone. As I touched on earlier, this has been like a 50-50 in a case, out of a case kind of thing with my Note. I love it out of the case. Every time I take the case off, I find it hard to put the case back on. Because I'll take it off every now and then to clean the case or to clean the phone, get the dust out of there. Or even just like staying in the house, I prefer not to have a case on it. And I'll put one on when I'm going out shopping for the day or if I'm going out drinking. I think it's stupid not to put a case on there. Taking a selfie, drop it on the dance floor. Dreams and hopes are shattered into 1,000 pieces. Oh my God, does it worth there thinking about? I have cold sweats just thinking about it. So I will put a case on it occasionally. But without the case, it's just stunning. It's just so nice and difficult and a shame to put in a case. I wish more manufacturers, looking at you Apple, put as much care and attention into making the phone look better each generation. Because even when they went from the Note 8 to the Note 9, there weren't many changes, but they slimmed the bezels down a little bit because it wasn't ready for the hole punch. And they didn't want to go to a notch, but they still made a little bit of effort just to make it look that little bit more premium, a little bit better. And now they jumped to the hole punch, and I can't wait to see what the Note 20 looks like. Honestly, because I know it's going to be more refined. I know it's not just going to look like the Note 10, because that's lazy, isn't it, Apple? And who would do that? Camera, praise the Lord for the camera, because over the last several years I've been using an Android device and a iPhone, right? And granted, can't take it away, the iPhone does take nice pictures and it takes them consistently. Yes, Gadget Boy, you did prove me wrong on Twitter and you did prove me wrong on Instagram, but still, do you know what? The Note 10 takes good pictures. I'm going to say it does. Alright, they're on Pixel, they're on iPhone, but they are good pictures, and they've made massive improvement compared to the Note 9 and the S10. Even though it's the same camera sensors, just the software is so much better, the pictures are so much better, the shutter speed so much better, it all makes a difference. I find it easier now to get pictures of the animals and the kids or things that move outside without it being a blurry, horrible mess. Pictures that aren't in the ideal lighting. I'm a lot more confident now of just taking out my phone and taking some pictures and being like, yes, that'll do, rather than take another one, take another one, take another one. Forget it, I get the iPhone, take a picture of that. I'm just more confident now, and that's all you need from a phone. You don't need amazing quality pictures unless you're a photographer. What you need is a camera you can rely on. What you need is the confidence in a phone to pull out your pocket, take a picture, put it away, and look later without taking it out, looking, going, try again, put the flash on, change this setting, what about that mode? You take great pictures. End of. So to close, and say goodbye in this video. Do I think this beauty here, as you can probably tell by my enthusiasm, do I think this is still worth a purchase in early 2020? Absolutely. It has features and accessories that you just don't get with any other phone out there. Sorry Motorola, but you don't come close. And it just gives you a better experience. The software, the camera, the battery life, the form factor, everything about this phone screams quality. And because Samsung are not Apple, and because it has been out for a few months, and because new products have been launched since, the price has actually dropped. So even more so, I think this is an absolute banger of a purchase. I think if you are contemplating get one, I think absolutely go get one. Or, you know, wait 6 months and see what the Note 20 brings. But if you need a phone now, I don't think you can go wrong with this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like this video, and subscribe if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up and share it. Why not? Post it on Twitter. Tag me. Come at me. Yo, come check out my pictures on Instagram as well. Let me know if you can tell which one was the iPhone and which one was the Note. Peace. I almost forgot to mention that screen protector that comes on the Note 10 Plus. It's all scratched up. It's gotten a little bit ugly, but I've had it on there now since day one, and there's starting to be little things, few imperfections on there that bug me, that irritate me, and my God, my heart is racing. I don't usually use screen protectors at all, but when it comes on the phone, it kind of makes sense to keep it on, and then when the time is right, oh my God, oh. Ooh, it's like shiny and new. My God, does actually look a lot better. Didn't realise how shabby the screen protector got. I mean, you can see it's quite grubby and scratched and horrible and nasty. But now, wonder if the fingerprint sensor actually works better now. Oops. So after 6 months of it on, I've taken it off. Time for 6 months without it. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos, subscribe. Thank you.